getting on Shane. He's a 14-hand Rocky Mountain gelding. And we're going off a trail alone. So the footing's really sloppy here. It's all mush. You probably can't see it. Ugh, gross. But he does a good job getting through it. Yeah, we're sinking. I know, buddy. And lots of holes. Steer around the holes, people, because some people think the horses can see them. They don't see depth like we do, so sometimes they'll step in them if you don't steer around them. They're also very mushy over here. Good boy. Oh, gross. Thank you, Shane. Very sure-footed and trustworthy to get you through the footing. He knows how to handle his body and get through things. But again, he's young, so you need to have some clue and you need to steer. There's a flapping big scarecrow thing coming up on the left. I don't know if you can see that. He's good once he sees it. Good job, buddy. But you got to remember with young horses, even though they're quiet, he's very quiet and not spooky. You still have to know what you're doing because they don't have all those years of experience. So if you're a newbie, you'd need to have a trainer. Don't sell them to someone who doesn't know what they're doing, who doesn't have a trainer there to help them and ride them. Okay, but his gaits are quite nice on the trail. And he's just a good little guy. Very calm and not non-spooky for his age. Doesn't mean he never will spook. He can squirt a little bit forward if he gets scared, but again, you gotta know what you're doing. That's what happens when people don't know how to ride or what they're doing. They do the wrong thing, and then it makes a nice horse start being a bad horse. All right. So we're going uphill. It doesn't look like much of a climb, but it is. So we'll go a little faster. That's his cannon. Good job, buddy. Okay, so we came from way down there. Okay, because it never seems much when you're watching the videos, but it was pretty steep. Now we're going to go up this. This trail's sand. It's good that it has some like terrain obstacles, but there's no people on it or anything usually. Sometimes there's animals, but not much. Good boy. But he has been ridden on lots of California trails over the past year or so. You see, he's still going. It's fine when I duck under trees and the trees hit me. People don't think of this stuff, but some horses aren't used to that. Especially the ones coming from Vegas where they're riding out in the desert or Arizona. They're not going to be used to ducking under trees because they don't have to do that. So this is kind of like a, crevice. There's not much room for their feet in here. A little single track. And then there's a tree in the way, so we're gonna jump up here. Good boy. Just gonna plow around the tree. And then we gotta drop back down about a foot. Good job, buddy. Good job. So I really like him. He's a sweet horse, he's a kind horse, and he's very, very talented. He's 14 hands, so he's not for a big person. He's for more of a petite person, and he is going to grow you know, he's 6, so he's only going to grow a little bit more. So he might make 14, 1 or 2. No guarantee. And then they get stockier as they get older. They usually get stocky up until like 8 or 9 years old. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, give him a little break, let him catch his breath, and then we'll turn you back on. But you see he stops and stands quite nice. So you see I can walk him on a loose rein, you know, but he is a young horse, so normally I wouldn't do this because you never know what's going to jump out. But all he does is look around some. So if you know how to ride, of course you can ride on a loose rein, but you just want to make sure you can help him since he's young. But he's just looking around because that's how, you know, they have to see with their eyes. Since they're on the side of their heads, they have to turn their heads back and forth to see. So if you have a loose rein, most of the horses will tend to look around, but he's walking in a nice straight line. He's not wobbly or anything, and he will walk slow. So if you have quarter horse friends, the Rockies sometimes are a little easier to ride with them because they have a shorter stride and they will walk slower. So I'm going to walk out a little bit. So he does have a nice flat walk. You'll see his head shake up and down with this flat walk. And I just have a very light contact on the reins. I'm just straightening his head so he's not looking around. So now we kind of have crevices to go down, and we're going downhill. And these horses with the shorter stride, they do better with you know, steep terrain than like a walking horse with a big huge stride. They can do it, but it's harder on them. These guys, it's much easier since their steps a lot shorter. So now he's walking out. It's just his flat walk. And we're in deep sand right now. Okay, so I'll shorten up and show you a little bit of his rocky gait because right here it's flat. So I'm just going to pick up contact, add a little leg. There we go. So he's easy to get in gait, but you still have to have some clue about gaited horses to, you know, to do it. You know, ride them with a little contact, because if you don't, some of these Rockies can start trotting if you don't tell them what to do. Okay. So now we'll come back to a walk so you can see what he does after he gays. So he does come back to being mellow. And now we're going uphill. Faster if we don't see anything coming. That's just his canter. Good boy. He pays a lot of attention to the rider's signal, so if he kind of sit back and breathe out, he'll just start stopping, because that's what he was taught to do. So. Anytime you sit back and kind of relax yourself. Oh, see how quickly he stopped? And I didn't even have to pull on the rein. So if you sit back, breathe out through your mouth, say whoa, he'll stop. And it's always a good thing to practice when you get your new horse so they get used to how you do it, because everybody rides a little bit differently. But he's well broke. He's seen a lot for his 6 years of life. But he also have a very calm temperament, so he doesn't care about too much. Even though he looks around, he has that nice rocky temperament that's pretty calm. So we got another steep hill, and this is a little muddy still, because this is an out and back trail. Job. Okay, now we're going back downhill. It looks the same on camera that it does in real life, but at least you get the idea. Oh, sandy, muddy, some crevices. Now back uphill. I always lean forward a little bit going uphill just to help them. So this area up here, this is a little bit of a mess. So it's muddy, it's kind of swampy on the side. And here it's really squishy. That's the view, in case you're interested. And this is also very swampy up here. So again, they see different than us, so I try to steer through things like this to help them, as you can see where the better footing is. You did a good job, buddy. A good baby horse. Good job, bud. I'll be posting more video. I've ridden them down the road, so I'll get some videos for you on other trails with hikers and stuff, so you see how he is. Okay, so we're going to take a break up here. I always like to take breaks with them, get off and get back on, so that way if you go picnic or something like that, your horse will, you know, stand still when you get on and all of that. So I like to get them used to that. Alright. Oh, good boy. I'll show you me getting off just so you see he's not screwy. Good job, buddy. You did so good. Yeah, he did a great job by himself. Yeah, there's some weird white thing here on the left. So when you get something like that, you just be ready and block them with your other rein, your right rein, right leg. Because you know if that thing moves, they're going to try to take off to the right or spin to the right to get away from it. So you block them and you just kind of hold your left rein to help you. Because that can happen with any horse. The dirt sticking up in hard mud. Shortening his stride nicely to get down this hill. Back through the mud. Gross. Not gonna want to pick your feet after this, huh? It'll be all gross. So again, this is a trail that goes out and back, so you'll see he's not rushing home. He's just doing a nice flat walk. And then we got this steeper muddy hill to go down. So you're trying to help your horse if they need help. He's doing good. I'm not half halting or anything. He's backing himself off and shortened his stride up, and he's on his back end. But if they get heavy, you half halt and then release, and half halt and release. And you keep your rein short so you have control, because some horses will get halfway down and decide, hey, I'm going to run down the rest of the hill. Which wouldn't matter if you weren't up there, but when you're up there, you don't want them to do that. So your reins are long, they can do that much easier versus if your reins are short. So. Alright, another little downhill. So there you go, a little fast. I just gave a little half halt. So just a little squeeze and relax on the rein. And when you get these horses, see I'm just gating up this hill because we're headed back towards the barn. Lots of people want to just run. The horse wants to sometimes just run. But you don't want them to learn that because when you get a young horse, you're making a horse. And you don't want to ruin one. So you want to teach them that you tell them what speed to go and that's what they go. So some hills you might canter, some hills you might just walk. But if you run every hill that you see, that's how you make crazy horses. Because they learn from repetition and that's what you want. So they go really fast and then they start getting amped up and then people are like, what do I do with this forward horse? He's crazy. So you want to put good miles on them. But a lot of times with the young horses or the really forward horses, you want to put slow miles on them. And just get them happy and relaxed out here, especially when they're alone. It's in that bush. Good job, buddy. For that hill, it was shorter, but it was a little bit harder, so I just half halted more of the steps just to keep him speeding up. When you're heading back towards home, you know, it's fine cantering hills away from home, but not every hill. But when you're heading home, the closer you get, the less fast you want to go. Because otherwise you're just teaching your horse to run home, and that's how they get barn sounder. I saw these one group of people around the horses on trail, and we were packing up our trailer. I saw them running down the trail, running towards the trailer, and I said to my girlfriend, you think they're going to run all the way back to the trailer? She said, who the heck would do that? Well, they did. They ran all the way back to the trailer. And I said, well, see, it's not those horses' fault. The people did it. The people were making them go. We saw them kicking them. And I'm thinking someday they might go to sell those horses. They don't want them anymore. Now those horses are totally messed up. Because they think that's what they're supposed to do, is run back to the trailer. Okay? Teach your horse good habits, not bad habits. And if you don't want to hear the advice, just turn the sound off. Right?